Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a brand new Titanic update. Today we are looking at A deck, actually, which means we are stupid close to getting this project done. Like, seriously, it's actually getting it's so close. It's almost done. It's almost there. Um, Out of all of the decks, you guys almost probably know this one the best, just because it's A deck. It's like super close to being the top of the ship, and this has all of the public rooms on it. There are cabins on this deck, but there aren't a lot of them. So, yeah, we're gonna have a fair bit to go over. You've also seen a good chunk of A deck already if you looked at the Titanic V1 versus Titanic V2 video. It just comes down to the fact that I was working on A deck when I decided to quit working on that version of the ship just because I didn't like how it was turning out. But we can talk a little bit more about that later. For now, let's just go over what we've got. So, first of all, we have the main promenade, which runs around the entire length of the ship. I actually am putting the deck chairs down everywhere I can really fit them. There are a lot. There are a lot of deck chairs. There aren't as many as you'd think, but there are a lot. Like, I expected this spot to be a little more full, but it really isn't, so that's about that. But now we can probably start going over the cruise or the interior stuff. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, and you've also got the enclosed part of the promenade, and then about around the first class lounge, it switches from being enclosed to being open. Yay. Let's focus in on the interior. So, interior-wise, we have a ton of first class cabins. Well, not really a ton of them. We have a lot of them that are kind of up around this forward area, and then at the grand, and then kind of beside the grand staircase. Speaking of the grand staircase, this area doesn't yet, but it soon will have Honor and Glory Crowning Time. It's not going to be a very detailed model, but it will be there, I promise. It's just not there yet. Heading aft, we have this little corridor here, and for revolving doors, I just kind of did this. Since you can't actually make a revolving door, at least not without a ton of redstone I don't have room for. So, and then here we have the first class reading and writing room, which looks kind of like this all the way around. I do have the walls built up to as high as they go, so you can kind of see the boat deck area is levels around here. I think it was a good call to do that. It kind of fills out the rooms a little bit more, and I don't have to worry about deciding what I'm going to do later. Heading a little bit further aft, we have the first class lounge. I say first class. All of this stuff on this deck is first class. There is one room, I believe, that is second class, and then a couple crew spaces. So we have the first class lounge. You know, once again, the walls are as tall as they're going to get. You can kind of see where the dome's going to be. All that stuff, it's just kind of good to have it all laid out. Yeah, I'd say so far turning out really good. You also have these kind of cubbies here. Little alcoves where you don't have to worry about stuff. So let's look at some crew stuff. I should also finish this set of doors. And this set of doors. Alright. So we have a little pantry area, a closet for coats and stuff, and a door that goes out onto the first class promenade. We also have this area here that has some kind of like pantry stuff. A lot of this stuff is for serving like snacks and drinks and stuff to the first class lounge. Like afternoon tea would be prepared in these two areas. And then you have this staircase, which is part of the very long winding well, not really winding, but very long staircase that goes all the way down to E deck. Which, you know, it's nice, and this is not... This whole staircase exists now, but it's not really... Like, it exists, but it's not really fully in place. Like, there's a cover around this top deck area, that needs to be put in. But other than that, the staircase is finished. You can also see where the expansion joint, the after expansion joint lies. Here we have this hallway that runs the rest of the way aft to the after grand staircase, which looks like this now. It has its little clock. It has its whole thing going. It's actually turning out pretty nicely. All the stuff is turning out really nicely. But yeah, we have the stairs. They go down to B deck. And then heading aft, we have one more area. Well, one more big room. We have the first class smoking lounge, which I think I did a pretty good job with. It's obviously not as crazy as like the real one or Titanic Honor and Glory or anything like that, but I think it turned out very, very nicely. Stained glass, the little wings, all that good stuff. So what's behind this area? Well, there's supposed to be a maintenance hatch that runs all the way around the edges, but I don't have the room for that. So instead, what we're going to look at is kind of the stuff in the middle areas. So we have this area for just general maintenance, as well as this, which is the spiral staircase that runs from D deck up. And then here we have a lavatory for first-class gentlemen that are need a break while they're in, or need to pee while they're in the smoking room. So there's all that. We have lots of... Actually, we don't have as much seating as I thought there was. I tried my best to, with this deck, to replicate the seating plans that you have on the actual plans that I'm using. So, heading further aft, we have the Palm Court or Veranda Cafe. I don't think we even know which one is which, given that even on the deck plans that I'm using, they're labeled as Palm Court / Veranda Cafe. It doesn't really seem that important, given that, you know, they're not really labeled anywhere. Here we have the little galley area, which is for both the smoking room as well as the Palm Court and Veranda Cafe. Also, apparently this one was also used as the children's playroom. So, yeah, and with that, we are pretty much done with the A deck interior. There's the second class stairs right here, and the fan room that goes down to the electrical room, which means that this little hatch is now almost... Do I have ladders in here? I don't think I do. And since there's like something up there, I might as well just finish this area out completely. But yeah, you can take these hatches all the way down to the electrical room. Speaking of which, we do have some updates to these lower areas, and that largely comes down to the fact that I put very basic catwalks in. So now I don't think they're really accurate, but you can access basically everything in all of these rooms now. You can climb your way up to the main... How do you get up there? Oh yeah, that's right. You kind of go around here. You can kind of climb your way up through all of these exits and escape hatches and all that stuff now. You can reach these little decks up here. You kind of have to go through all of them to get to the top deck. A lot of it just kind of winds around the pipes and stuff that are already existent. There's quite a bit of empty space. Just kind of takes you on a tour of the electrical room. I will say the one thing that I do think turned out better on the other ship would actually be these like catwalks and hatches and stuff. But yeah, so now all this stuff is actually connected and you can access all of it. So, and you can these will all go all the way up to whatever deck they terminate at. Heading forward, we have... Oh wait, no, I passed it. We have the main engine room, which now has all of its catwalks and ladders and such. Chutes and ladders. Oh wait, no, I did put connecting ones in. So this goes all the way up to the boat deck. There is one room that was formerly unavailable. If you were just exploring the ship, that is now completely accessible only due to the fact that these catwalks exist. And it is one more deck up. It's this little room right here. Oh, which I didn't go over. It's like a fan room or pump room. Let me go ahead and double check. It is a... That's the wrong deck. Ah, yes, it is a tank room. Heading back down, we've got this little overhang here, which is kind of... It's a neat spot in the engine room. I don't really know why it exists. I think it's just for access to these areas above the engine. You can kind of head down through these catwalks. They go pretty far down. Oh, and this is the one that kind of hooks up to these catwalks over here that allow you to get to like the engineer's quarters and stuff like that. The other one lets you get to the machine shop and just all that good stuff. You can just get some really impressive views of the main reciprocating engines. Like if I head up here, you can enter the machine shop. And yeah, so the quickest way, through this area is probably just kind of to head up here and around and then back to the reciprocating engine, back through this door here. Since catwalks everywhere have been introduced, I'm actually going to head back down. Since catwalks everywhere have been introduced now, that also includes the boiler rooms, which we will get to now. I'm going to show you 3 of them just because they have different catwalk styles. The first one being Boiler Room 1, which has very awkward catwalks, mostly due to the fact that it is a very awkward room in general. You kind of go up here, you got these little pump inlets, but then you kind of have to cross over here to get any higher up because the door... I mean, you kind of go... It feels like you're going behind the boilers, and then, yeah, you can go the rest of the way up through that ladder there. The next one I'll show you is Boiler Room 2, and then we'll jump to Boiler Room 6, because 2 through 5 have the same catwalk design. I'll just hop down. So, Boiler Room 2. That's all over here. You can kind of see. You head up through here. And then you can kind of go... Actually, you can go all the way back here, and this is how you get, 1, to the actual steam valves, and 2, up to these pump inlets as well. Or no, these pipe inlets. Those are for steam. Or for the main steam pipes. Just giving you good access up to there. Then this is how you get to these ones. You go up, and then there's an area here, and this gives you access to this little shelf here. And then you can go up, and then kind of around, and then I guess you did this ladder up here, which you can take the rest of the way up to the boat deck. Actually, kind of above the boat deck. Heading the rest of the way forward through Scotland Road. Like I said, boiler rooms 2 through 5 have the same design, so there's not much to show you with those ones, so I'm going to skip past them. I believe this is boiler room 6, right? Yeah. So boiler room 6 is a few quirks, but first of all, you go down here, get to this area, get back to the shelf, go through this area, and you can go through here, but you can't actually go down here. You have to hop off, hop back on. I can't really fix that. That would require kind of rearranging this entire room. You can go through this area. You can get to the pipe inlets over here. And at the front, actually no, you can't get to the ones at the front because there are no pipe inlets at the front. And then you can head all the way back down to the boiler room, or to the keel deck. Alright, well with that being out of the way, I think it's about time for us to go ahead and head back up to 8 and start looking at, oh, right. The rest of the ship. So that was a quick tour through all of the catwalks that have been added. The only thing left for me to show you is lights on B deck, because now B deck has lights. It's very, very similar to C deck. I'm not gonna I will show you one of the cabins because the rest are all the same as pretty much the same as they are on C deck, just with slightly larger windows. So here's what the grand staircase on this deck looks like. Here's this little boarding area. And then here is the private promenade. Gives you a very nice little area. Also, these rooms are very awkwardly shaped, so that's why they came out a little weird. And that is about it for cabins. There's another one on the other side, but, you know, neither really here nor there. Heading aft the rest of the way through this area. This area lights look like this. Here we have the reception room for the a la carte restaurant. Oh, the sun's rising, which, you know, we have a nice view of the grand staircase, but also just not a very important view. We have this nice skinny hallway here. Here we have the Cafe Parisian, which this is what it looks like now that it's got a roof over it, over top of it. Here we have the a la carte restaurant, which, you know, I tried to do something fancy with the roof. I think it turned out okay. Here we have the a la carte restaurant's galley, kitchen and all that. You can kind of see that there are just hatches overhead. Those go all the way up to the boat deck. And then, I'm going to go ahead and just remove fairing bars, I guess. Kind of have to head back to the Cafe Parisian just to show off more or less what the second class is. So this is a second class, I guess, open promenade, the enclosed one being a deck down. It's pretty nice. Whoops. And then, you know, we have this little walkway through here. Just make sure that all the windows are in place. It's just raining, it's fine. Average Southampton weather. So, here we have the second class grand stair, or the second class main stairs. We have the second class smoking room. This is where all the second class men would hang out when they don't want to deal with the second class women. And then here's where the very top actually of this staircase here. This is just where it terminates. So yeah, this whole area is now done. That view is exactly as it's going to be on the final version of the model. And that's actually about it. This project, as mentioned, is getting very, very close to being done. I just have to do the boat deck, tops of houses, and then the funnels. The aftermast is in now. There's going to be a bit more rigging that goes to it, but aside from that, the aftermast is, like, with the ship's two masts done, that's a very good chunk of the ship's profile done. We kind of know how tall the ship's going to be. Everything else is going to kind of fit within that. Now it's just up to us to finish up, or up to me to finish up everything else. Got to do the boat deck, and then the roof, so we have 2 more updates ahead of us. Next update is going to be the boat deck and all that stuff, and the very last update is going to be everything. So that'll include the funnels, that'll include the deck house, or the machinery on top of everything, skylights, domes, stuff like that. Everything will be put in 2 updates from now. And that will be the final update to my Titanic project, which is really, really weird to say that we're just 2 updates out, because I have been working on this project for well over a year now. I think like a couple years at this point. So it's nice to pretty much almost have it done. We only have this update and then this update. And yeah, I will see all of you then. Once I finish this, I'll have to figure out how to port a Minecraft build into World Edit, and from there, things will get interesting. So yeah, I'll also think about uploading this to like Planet Minecraft if any of you guys want to look at my work, criticize me, or anything like that. Fully open to criticisms and stuff. It's definitely not a perfect model, but it is the best one that I've built. So yeah, I will see you all then. Bye-bye.